Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother, Timmy the Grouch Harris, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Today is the Steelers Buffalo post-game show. The Steelers lost to the mighty Bills 26-15. Definitely not the best game of the year for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You think?
Tim, what are some of your initial thoughts of the game?
They suck. They stink. They should be in a trash bag just like me. They suck. Everything sucked. Offense sucked. Defense sucked. Coaching sucked. Hey, looky what we're doing, Mike Tomlin. We're unleashing hell in December. 0 for 2.
That's true. It's not a very good showing. Buffalo, well, they beat us pretty good.
What a dumpster fire.
They were more physical than us, definitely.
They were more everything than us.
So, Tim, let's talk about the offense. How do you think the Steelers' offense did?
They didn't do diddly poo. They stunk.
They did.
There wasn't one good thing good about the offense.
That's true. It was bad.
Deontay, Brick Hands Johnson. You got Eric, Paddle Hands Ebron. And you got Ben out there. I'm beginning to think maybe Mark's right. He doesn't have any throws left in the arm.
Yeah, dude. Well, he was sub 50. Actually, he was sub 40 this week.
He's out there like throwing lollipops. Are you kidding me?
Ben did not look. Let's talk about Ben's performance. What did you think about
Juju dancing on the Buffalo emblem. This team talks so much smack. They suck.
Who do you think was their best receiver?
Nobody. Me. Me.
Yeah, they didn't.
Crab hands. Crab hands.
He was probably their best one. He was. I just, I'm still waiting for them.
Juju and his stupid TikTokity tick-toopity do. Why do you go out there and just dance on the logo?
I don't know.
I mean, scram.
That's true. Well, let's talk about the running game. We had Connor back.
What running game?
Did you see Connor's stats? Do you know what his average was? 1.8 yards.
One.
He was bad.
Our line, soft.
It is. It's worse. We lost 2 guys.
Yeah. Did you see? We lost them both when they were getting manhandled, thrown in the freaking backfield. I mean, I can't blame Connor. I mean, I saw the one play Dotson, like Connor got the handoff and Dotson actually hit him in the backfield, and it was a stretch. It was a stretch to the outside. How's that happen?
I don't know. They were bad. Our offense looked terrible. That short, hey, if it's going to come out within a yard and a half, we're your team. But man, other than that, what happened to us, man? What happened to us?
Soft.
Now, was our offense? I mean, this wasn't our offense last year.
TJ, I mean, I don't even know what our offense was last year. Watching them 2 clowns play quarterback, they suck too.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So, who was your offensive player of the game?
Nobody. There was not one. Me. I was the offensive player of the game.
The offense was pretty.
I'm not
bad.
naming one. I'm not. I refuse to name an offensive player. Me. It was me. Scram.
Yeah, that's true. So let's flop to the defense. How do you think the defense played?
They were good for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can't keep on the field the whole time. I'm sorry.
You can't.
You can't. This thing, I am on fire right now with this thing on.
You just want to rip it off, but you can't because you don't want to scar the viewers for the rest of their lives.
I don't want us to get barred from YouTube. That's what it is.
That's true. So what do you think? What do you think of the defense?
I mean, how do you not cover the best player? He is basically the best player on their team.
I don't know.
And you let him run free. I mean, they weren't. I could get it if you're getting beat. You were just running zone and letting him just. And it took you that long to double him.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Rocks in his mouth. Put a double on him.
That's true. I don't understand why we didn't adjust. Our adjustments were not very good in the game.
They sucked. 91, you suck. Diddly poo. Just like I don't know. When we start on Notre Dame, guys, it seems like they just, it's just like a Notre Dame to be stout and on fire like a team from, the beginning of the year. And guess what happens when the money's on the table? They just fizzle off into the sunset. Watch. Wait till you see what happens to Notre Dame, the college football players. Fizzle off in the playoffs.
So what do you think of Williamson? He kind of stepped up. What do you think about him?
He was okay. He was okay.
Yeah. He led the team in tackles. Hey, speaking of 91, guess how many tackles?
He sucked.
Guess how many tackles he had on Sunday?
Zero.
None. Not
Zero.
one.
Zero. He better have.
What happened to it?
Patting his stats, running his mouth.
He disappeared. He just absolutely disappeared.
He better have COVID just sucking all through his body. Oh,
I don't know what it is. How do you think of Highsmith? What do you think of his performance?
Who?
Highsmith.
Highsmith?
Yeah.
What doesn't he play? He was okay. No, he sucked. 56? No, he sucked too. TJ sucked. They all sucked.
Yeah.
The only two players worth a damn on that defense yesterday was your boy Hilton.
Yeah.
And Cam.
Yeah. Cam was a force of nature.
That's it. The rest of them sucked. They sucked. They're all everybody's on the list. The defensive, they're all on the list. Everybody.
Yeah. Our adjustments they were not very good. Now, I got to say, we did decent against Holt. They have a pretty good offense, and they have a heck of a defense too. They're a top 5 defense.
I told you their defense was coming on. Nobody was believing me. Nobody believes in this guy. Nobody. I told you that Buffalo, we were on the tracks and Buffalo just mowed us down.
Yeah, would you see Tomlin's press conference? He said they out physicaled us. He said they punched us in the mouth.
Surprise, surprise. Every team for the past 3 weeks has out physicaled us. Tomlin.
Yeah, we got to make a job. Well, let's talk about your special part of the game, special teams.
That guy, Barry, I swear to God.
He was terrible.
34 yards a punt. Are you kidding me?
Terrible.
You kidding me? I could punt left-footed and get 34 yards a punt in this stinking outfit where I'm sweating beyond belief.
He was bad. And what happened to Big 14? He doesn't look good anymore either. What happened to him?
I don't know. Get a little cold weather. Those Florida boys start just shutting down.
They do. They don't like the cold. They don't.
This team is just
putrid. It was a bad game for us.
TJ, I told you. Did I not say they're going to win one of their last whatever games? They should be licking Baltimore's butt that they beat the Browns last night.
Yeah, they did.
That
was a crazy game.
If I'm the Steelers, the best thing they can do is drop out of that 2 seed. Do you want to play Baltimore in round 1? This guy doesn't, because Baltimore's going to come in there and just stick it down our throats for 60 minutes. Seriously, wouldn't you much rather play a Dolphin or not a Dolphin, but I don't even know how the Browns, or I'd much rather play the Browns or the stinking or.
Hey, it looks like there could be 3 coming from the
Dolphins.
north.
I don't know, the Dolphins and the Browns. Oh no, you either play the Colts or the Browns. I'd much rather play the Colts.
Yeah. Well, we're going to play them. We'll see what they're like here in a few weeks.
TJ, if I'm the Steelers, what I do is you beat Cincinnati. You start shutting it down now. Start shutting it down in the next 2 games. I wouldn't play Ben again. I'd be like, get your 90-year-old elbow and your 90-year-old knees in some shape for when we got to play. I won't play anywhere. You know what I do? You know what else I do? If they have any gall, I thought about this today. Why don't you go sign Marshawn Lynch? Bring him on for the run. At least he has some cojones to run the ball.
He does.
What would hurt? Would it hurt?
No, our running backs are terrible.
If I got to watch Jalen Samuels is our best running back. It makes me want to throw up.
I know, you're right. Actually, his average wasn't too bad. Him and Snell were way better than Connor. And what happened to I didn't see McFarland at all.
He didn't dress. He was deactivated.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah, it was very interesting. They had a bunch of bums playing. Oh,
they did.
Number 99. I can't believe number 99 continues. the crayon. Oh, he continues to get a hat.
He does. We got injuries piling up, man. We got to get him healthy.
They don't got injuries on the D line, and he's dressing on the D line. That dude's dressing on the D line. I got 4 plays. I got him.
That's true. Hey, they might need you. They might need somebody in the middle. You never know.
I don't even know. I'm too good for that team. Next question.
You probably are. Well, let's open up the Yinzer mailbag, shall we?
Jordan Berry.
So what is the Yinzer mailbag, you ask? It's when you, the fans, get to ask us questions. And boy, did we get some fun questions this week. Tim, the cookie or the trash monster guy. Again, if you want to submit a question, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com.
Unleash hell in December. I'll never forget it. Unleash hell in December.
2 more weeks in December.
I may get that tattooed on my back.
You should have him shave that back hair and stick it right in the center. Shave that back hair, stick it right in the center. Be great. So here's the first question from your buddy Mark.
You know what? Oh,
he sends this. He says,
I'm gonna take his little Steeler nutcracker. Ever since he brought that out, they've been getting manhandled. It happened last year. He is this stupid Steeler nutcracker.
Well, break in that house and get it, Tim.
There's no way. I would make.
Why?
TJ, yeah, right. I think he has all hardwood floors in his house. I would take one step and it would be with a chance. Nutcracker, I swear to God.
Bake him some cookies. Bake him a pie. See, I'm bringing a pie over.
He sends that picture of the nutcracker, and I go, "It's a loss." He sent it to me 3 minutes before the game. I was like, "We are going to get our heads beat in."
Tim limited his fears. This is his first question. It says, even after the 11-0 start, it feels like it's slipping away for the Steelers.
You think it's slipping away?
It says, we know there'll be a playoff game. Who do you want to play in the first, or who do you not want to play in the first round?
I don't want to play Baltimore. I don't want anywhere near Poops Lamar. I don't want none. I don't want none of the Ravens. I don't want none of them.
So let me ask you a question. What happens if the
Ravens may rush for 500 yards against us?
Well, let me ask you a question. What happens if we play Cleveland at the end of the year and we destroy them?
We won't, because they TJ, there isn't a chance in hell. You know what's going to irritate me about Tomlin? They're probably going to win the rest of their games when they could just lose one game and just slide out and play a crappier team and run one. But Mike Tom, standard is the standard. We don't live in our fears. No, just let your guys rest. Drop a game. Who cares? You're not catching Kansas City. You're not doing it.
Yeah.
Just drop a game. That Cleveland. No, I want let them go. Let them win. Let Cleveland win that game. So when we play them in the first round of the playoffs, when they're beating on our backups, we just drum them. Nothing would make me more happier. Drum. I still, to me, they're Cleveland. No matter what, even if that game would have ended up end of the year that we had to play for the division, there's no way. TJ, me and you can play for the Steelers and we're still beating Cleveland. It's in their head.
Probably.
And I won't. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Some of the shots that were coming from that game last night after Baltimore kicked that field goal, I just loved seeing just that sadness everywhere in that crowd. It was everywhere. I mean, the sadness. I felt like I was so mad, and that sadness just seeped inside me, and I felt better. I was like, look at all the sad people. Look at them all. They're all so sad. They're just so sad. The guys drinking a beer, a cup with a dog face on, just look sad. I was like, you guys are sad.
Yeah, they were. They weren't a happy bunch.
It was sad. And then, it was sad. Then you see Ray Lewis tweeting LeBron. Boy, they deleted that tweet. They did. Twitter deleted. Oh, if you would have read that thread before they deleted that, holy mackerel. People were on fire.
What was going on with that? Because you sent me the link and it was gone.
There was a bunch of just responses like, LeBron looking around. You know that one with the cartoon where the eyes go back and forth? White suits popping out of stuff. Hurry. Ray Lewis is after you, LeBron. People jumping out of bushes. It was great.
So who took it down?
I don't know. Either Ray Lewis took it down or the Twitter machine took it down. I don't know, but it was great.
I was sad. I wanted to see it. You sent me the link. Here's another one from your buddy Mark. Says Ben looked like he really disliked getting slogged last night. Says what would what would have been like to watch the game, last night's game, or the Buffalo game with Tom Papu, aka Papu? How do you think he would have responded?
You think I'm bad?
Oh yeah, he's bad.
He would have been 30 times worse. I'll be truthful. Me and Melissa got into it during the game. I had to leave the room and go into the other room and watch the game because I was being such a jerk.
You were being a jerk, Tim. I find that hard to believe.
I said, if you don't like the way I'm acting, you could leave the room. She wasn't leaving the room. So I'm leaving the room. And I left the room. And I sat here in sadness. I didn't say one thing the rest of the game. Eric Ebron, that guy. Oh, I knew it. As soon as Deontay Johnson dropped that first pass, I go, here we go.
And they're just, like you said, they're soul-crushing drops. Catch the ball. Just catch the ball.
I just watched. It didn't make any sense to me. People keep saying that they run shotgun. You can't use a fullback. I think that's crap. I watch Baltimore. Them out of a shotgun 90% of the time use a fullback.
Yeah.
Why can't you use Derek Watt?
You can.
I'm seeing Lyman get just annihilated. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. I mean,
you know what's funny? We don't talk about this a lot. I mean, our line has declined since we lost whatchamacallit, our coach, who's now in
Mike Munchak.
Denver.
Oh, the first person I'm getting rid of after this year is that line coach. You're gone.
He's a bum.
You're
terrible.
Gone.
Gone. He's gone. I mean, he's terrible.
Scram.
He's actually terrible. How about this one? Says, talk about the injury stacking up. They lost Filer. He's on injured reserve.
He stinks.
Yeah, well, he's there's 3 linemen on that list. You got Dotson and a core 4.
Dotson. They're saying he's just a shoulder. He'll probably be playing or practicing later on in the week. Core 4's fine.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
that's good. And then hey, your buddy Edmonds is.
Oh, that would be the blessing in disguise. Get that bum off the field. I don't care who they put. You know what wasn't bad that game was 27. I was stunned.
Yeah,
he wasn't that bad.
No, I agree. And then our boy Connor's hurt again. Got a quad injury.
How did he hurt himself? He didn't get touched. I mean,
I have no idea.
You're getting 1 yard to carry. How do you get hurt?
So let me just ask the question: Is the Connor? Is it time to just let him go? Is this his last year?
Is it time to let him go? Is it time to let him go? TJ. It's like saying, is it time to pick me up? Yeah, it's time to let him go.
He can't stay healthy.
TJ. Yeah. Bye. I love you, Connor. Bye.
He's a great story, but he can't stay healthy. I mean, I don't know.
Is it time to?
I think they got it. I mean, and this irritated me a little bit too. They had an opportunity to get some actually decent running backs. There were some decent free agent running backs this year, and they didn't even make an attempt to get anybody.
You don't get a free agent running back. You draft a running back. Just draft.
Well, that's
just
true.
Draft one. Just draft one that doesn't have 900 carries on his freaking tires coming out of Kentucky in the 4th round. You just don't do that. You get a guy that doesn't have a tread just falling off his tires.
Yeah.
You don't do that. I mean, they could have got 27 from Baltimore. Let me put it this way. I was upset when the Steelers could have taken Dobbins and they took Claypool instead. Claypool was good at the beginning of the year. Guess who's coming on like a hell of fire right now? 27 from the Ravens. I'm just going to leave that there. I still believe Dobbins is going to be a better pro than Claypool.
I don't think he'll be.
I do.
Because
they're going to get TJ. He has every make. He has every make of a 5-star running back. I'm telling you right now, every make of it. Claypool, TJ. Do you realize he wasn't on the field a lot last game? Look at his snaps.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the lowest out of any of the receivers. TJ, what's going on? You know why? Because these receivers are getting jammed. That's why this offense isn't working now. Baltimore figured it out. You jam these receivers off the line. The only one to get off a jam is Deontay Johnson. But if he can't catch the ball, it doesn't matter.
You're right. Yeah.
The rest of the receivers can't get off the line of scrimmage. You're getting jammed right there. That's why this passing game isn't working. Claypool can't do it. James Washington Juju can't do it. Ebron just can do it, but he can't catch the ball.
You're right.
I'm telling you, that's what's going on.
Well, let me throw this out there though. I mean, so for a great running back, you get maybe, I mean, a really good one, maybe 4 or 5 years.
TJ, but that's what this
Decent
team
one,
needs.
3 or 4 years.
That's what this
The
team
upside,
needs.
the upside of Claypool's too. You'll have Claypool if you want to keep him. He could be a great receiver for 8 to 10 years.
TJ, he's going to be as good as a receiver, as good as a quarterback we have. We have been on a 3-year window, if that 2-year, 3-year window. You
I'll
need
tell
to
you
have
what.
TJ. You need to have a running back with him.
You can pick up running backs a whole lot easier than you can wide receivers. I think you can. See, at least stud ones.
I mean,
running backs are usually deep through the draft. I mean, when's the last time that you drafted a number 1 running back?
Le'Veon Bell was drafted high. He was a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying you can get a quality running back in the 3rd round. Don't you think?
Dobbins was different, dude. He was different. I watched a dude at Ohio State. He's different. He is different. He's different, dude. I'm just telling you, he's different. I think
Baltimore always has a decent running back. When do they have a crummy running back?
But here's the difference. He can do what to me. He actually reminds me of Ray Rice. And Ray Rice was a monster. Can catch the ball in the backfield, can run between the tackles. So I have a feeling once their offense starts evolving, that's when you're going to see the true wealth in Dobbins.
Well, so let me ask you a question. Even if we had Dobbins, could he run behind the line that we have right now?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I don't think anybody can.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody can. I mean, again, I've told you I don't like Connor's vision. But I think he misses the holes.
But Connor 2 years ago was a 1,000-yard rusher.
Who was the line coach then?
Munchak, I get it, but they're the same line minus. They're the same line minus.
You can have the same guys.
What's his name?
They're retired. Yeah, I mean, coaching's a big deal. It is. So I think you could point directly to that. And I don't think, I mean, who could you put back there that would be like, oh, they're going to be a stud against, with this line. I don't think there's anybody. I think our problem is this: if you've got a great line, you can have an average running back and make them look spectacular. And then I think too, what's the best thing that your running game needs other than a line? A great passing game. Here's the challenge: we have a short passing game. So what they're doing is they can put 8 people right in the box, just like they're stopping the run, because they're putting 1 billion people in just to clog up those route lanes. So we're bringing everybody close to the line of scrimmage. I mean, so how could we possibly run the ball?
Then that tells me your other
receivers, awful.
Your other receivers can't get off the ball.
Well, but not only are they struggling to get off the ball, but when you look at them, we're not spreading anybody out. We've got these really tight formations, those bunch formations.
But you know why they do the bunch formations, TJ?
Well, I understand why they do the bunch, but look where the proximity is to where, like, where you look at your offensive line.
I understand.
These guys aren't like, they're not 7 yards away from the line.
But you're doing those bunch formations to get your guys free.
Well, I get that. But so if you have all your players on the offense just within close to tackle, everybody's there. There's no reason for anybody to back out. So how could you possibly run?
But even if you spread them out, you can still put 8 in the box, and not
you can
because you're going to be playing man on the outside, and these guys are just going to get 8 alive because they can't get off the ball.
I think the challenge is, I think you're seeing a lot of input from Canada, and I think that he doesn't understand the speed of the game. This is not college football. In the NFL, everybody's fast. Everybody is.
To me, it comes down to your head coach. Dude, if it's not working, you override Canada, you override Fitcher. They just don't do it. The Steelers, what drives me nuts, even on defense, they think, I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm not going to adjust. They haven't adjusted past 3 games on anything.
Yeah.
On anything. And it infuriates me. They were doing a heck of a job adjusting earlier in the year. They're just not doing that now. They're saying, hey, this is what it is, and if we can't do it, we're not going to. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
So let me throw something else out there. And just as a thought, is it possible? Now, so you got Ben back, but maybe he's not back. Maybe they know something that we don't know. Maybe he could throw all those little passes all day long. Has he thrown one deep ball that looks good to you?
The only thing I can think of, I saw Ben put a 30-yard skinny post on James Washington on a rope. His arm ain't the problem, TJ. The thing that I'm scared about, I actually think his knee is still bugging him. That's why he's been 99% under shotgun. When have you seen him take a snap from center?
Yeah.
Seriously, when have
you
taken
a long time? You're right.
It's been I think his knee is actually bugging him, and they're trying to protect him. But you could be more creative the way you run the ball to shotgun. You could put a fullback in there.
Yeah.
You can be more creative. They have no play action whatsoever.
No.
You can still run play action out of shotgun if you put a fullback in there and just act like it a little bit. You're going to run. I don't mind them, TJ. I don't mind them running for 1 yard, 2 yard. They have to continue to try to run it. They just don't do that. If you continue to try to run it, at least you may have those linebackers come up a little bit. Even if you're getting 1 or 2 yards, you can build a little bit of a play action. So to me, it's not so much they're getting 5, 6 yards a clip. It's the attempts. You got to get the attempts up to make those linebackers even think that you may run the ball. They're not doing it. When you're running the ball 10 times, 11 times a game, that's not enough. Like I said, to me, it's the yards per carry is not like the big. You just got to attempt. You got to try to attempt to run more. And I'm not talking these jet sweep crap that they're doing. Run it in between the tackles. That's the strength of your team. Your center and your two guards should be the strength of your team. And you're running out to the tackles all the time, and they're getting blown up because you don't have a tight end that can block. When Ebron's in the game and you try to run the ball, you might as well forget about it. That dude doesn't block anybody. I don't know why they're not being more creative with the wide receivers, bringing them in. Claypool's a monster. Use them blocking. You got to be more creative even with those receivers. If you're gonna run that 3 receiver set, be more creative. Let those guys come in. Use them to block. They're not doing it. They're just not doing it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, I don't either. I don't like their offensive scheme. I don't know. I'd even like to Juju
sucks.
come in. He's strong enough.
Fitchner sucks. That dude
And then
stinks.
here's the reality too. I mean, how much of it is him and how much of it's also Ben calling his own number?
I agree. I agree with you. But the thing was kind of weird to me. They start getting down. I was fully expecting Ben to go into that no huddle. They didn't do it. They were huddling up majority of that Buffalo game. It wasn't working. Why not go to the no huddle and try to speed them up a little bit? Was it because they were down linemen? Possibly. That's the only way I could possibly think of why they didn't do that. They were down 2 guards.
When you lose guys like that in game, it's tough. And again, too, they came to the end of the rope of the 3 games in 12 days. I think I think it got to them. I think the last 2 games got to them. You know, that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think that they need. This is a good break for them. At least they get, an extra day.
They better beat Cincinnati by 400 points at home. I mean, they better. When I say they better pummel them, if they have the chance to run up and put 60 points on them, you continue to just hammer the gas. I wouldn't let up 1 iota, even if just run it up. Run it up.
This is a good game where they can actually try to reestablish some things too. Like if you want to reestablish the running attack, this is a game to do that. This is a game to kind of get some things back into the playbook. They've gotten stale. They've gotten predictable. Open some things up. Try some things out. I think the defense will be solid. Again, here's the thought. If you look at the guys that are on IR right now that we're going to get back, we're going to get these guys back, even like Spillane and these guys, by the time we hit the playoffs, we're going to need all hands on deck. I mean, that's what we're going to need.
If you realistically win this game, which they should, you still have the division. Like I said, unless somehow KC loses to New Orleans this week, and I don't even think that even pushes. I don't know if that even still pushes Steelers into the 1 seed. I'm not sure. If it doesn't, dude, TJ, you got to get these guys some rest. I mean, seriously, you got to start picking and choosing and saying, "Hey, I'm sitting you down. Don't get Mr. Prideful now." That's what I'm so scared Tomlin's going to do. No. We're going to push ahead. Sit these guys and rest them. If you just do it so you're healthy. You haven't had that rest. Sit them so you get that rest so you go into the playoffs and you are on full tilt. And if you get, like I said, if it's between going from a 2 seed to a 3 seed or even a 4 seed, it's not going to make a damn bit of difference. I would sit Ben that last game. Say, you rest. Let stupid face play. You rest. I would sit, I just wouldn't risk anything. I'd get those guys rest, especially Ben looks like he is 90 years old right now.
He does. And let's just be real. I mean, I know we want to see Ben for 2 or 3 more years, but it would not surprise me for him to get to the end of this year and say, you know what, guys, I'm done.
Well, he better not.
I mean, I'm just telling you where he's at. I mean,
no. TJ, he does this all the time. He goes into that. He made a statement. Well, maybe he did that 2 years ago. And next thing you know, he comes out the past next 4 games and just throws for 19,000 yards.
I hope we see that. He looks different to me. And again, he's not going to be the same that he used to be.
To me, I thought that until I saw that throw to James Washington. TJ, that was a monstrous. I mean, the thing that scares me too is like that was a bullet. It was on the rope. Not a lot of quarterbacks can make that. It was a tight window, can make that throw. I got a feeling some of those balls, like the one to Juju, even the ones to Deontay, he was taking. It looks like he was taking stuff off the ball.
He was.
I don't know if it's because these guys are just dropping balls.
Mm-hmm. It might be. He may be like I'm throwing it too hard, but they just got to catch the ball. I don't understand with our technology now with equipment, how anything that doesn't touch their hands just doesn't stay there. I don't understand.
Have you ever put one of those gloves on?
Oh yeah, I have.
I mean, it's like if I had those gloves back in the day,
Tim, we'd be talking about you still. We'd still be talking. Your face would be on a wall somewhere in a restaurant in a Hall of Fame somewhere if you had those gloves.
Whatever, dude. Whatever.
Shout out to the Gateway Grill. By the way, we take endorsements, Gateway Grill. We do. Here's a question. I think it's a good question.
You know when wrestlers like wear those like trash bags to lose weight?
Uh-huh.
That's what I feel like I'm wearing right now.
Well, speaking of that,
like I'm cutting weight.
Yeah, here's a question for the fans. You might have noticed that Tim has been in the last few weeks. He's been eating some candy, stress eating a little bit. Tim, how many pounds do you think you've gained over the last 2 weeks with your constant stress eating?
That's nobody's damn business.
I did see Tim. Tim was taking out a box of M&Ms. Was it M&Ms you were taking out?
Yeah, dude, TJ, I'm telling you right now, by the end of this podcast, I guarantee 5 pounds knocked off.
5 pounds.
I'm gonna have to wash this thing. It's.
We all say thank you for that. So how many wins do you think the Steelers finish out with?
1.
Just the Bengals.
TJ, what have I been saying since the Baltimore game? They're gonna win 1 game against the Bengals.
You don't think they're gonna beat
Indy? Nope.
You think the mighty Phillip Rivers is going to be enough to just slash our defense?
Yep.
Phillip Rivers.
Yep.
And then Baker Mayfield makes you nervous.
I don't think I don't. By that time, I think they're going to lose and they're going to be going. The seeding doesn't matter because it really won't.
They rest everybody.
I think they rest everybody and let those bums get some confidence and then take them on in the first round and just stomp a mud hole right in their rear ends.
Yeah, that could be it. I don't know.
Baltimore's defense, it's not good.
Whose defense?
Baltimore's defense isn't any. Everybody's talking about how great Cleveland looked. Dude,
no.
Baltimore was like on their like 7th defensive back. Their starter was, he couldn't even, their defensive field was shot. If the Steelers were going against that defensive backfield, that was the only thing that was healthy when they played the Steelers.
You're right. It was. You're right.
The Steelers are probably going to drum them. And if they would have caught, I don't know, a third of the balls they dropped, they probably would have drummed them. And we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd be saying, oh, Steelers are pretty, they got beat by Washington actually looks pretty good. That defense for Washington is for real. Buffalo, I have been saying Buffalo is for real for weeks now. I said, this is the game that you guys go circle. I picked them, but I was going on a whim thinking, well, maybe they've been hearing how Josh Allen's good. He's good at football.
He is. And let's just be real. I mean, Buffalo outmuscled us, but they didn't. I think the Steelers could have hung with them. I don't think it was Ben's best game.
He doesn't throw a pick six. It's a different game, dude.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. I agree. I totally agree. Okay, cool. Well, that does it for the Yinzer mailbag. Again, if you have any questions, ideas, email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll hopefully, if you're lucky, we'll read your question on the show. We do have some good news, even after the bad news. The Bengals are coming to town. And if you need a good reset, they're probably one of the bottom 3 to reset everything with. I mean, either the Bengals, the Jets, or the Jags. Maybe those are the 3 you want to see. The Bengals are probably, I think they run neck and neck with the Jets, the mighty Jets. So we'll see what happens there. And again, it is COVID time. So you realize it at any moment, everything can be switched and flipped around on one positive test. The Chiefs that you could lose, they could lose Mahomes with a positive test.
But here's the thing: I don't want that because I don't want every.
I do. What would you if you got a ring because somebody lost on a positive test? They couldn't have somebody. Would you take the ring, Tim?
Here's my logic. You know my logic on everything? The Steelers dropping a seed down, dropping a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my logic. You're going to have Buffalo, Baltimore. I think Baltimore's going to beat Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
You have Baltimore go to KC. I think that's going to be a hell of a game. You let those two eat them up. Steelers are going to play either Cleveland or Indy, beat them, then probably got to go to either Tennessee or Indy. I don't know, Indy or whatever. And then you won't see either KC or Baltimore to the AFC title game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thinking. If you finish 2, you play Baltimore first. I just don't like, it's tough to beat any team 3 times, dude.
I agree. But I mean, let's just be real. The Baltimore team that we beat wasn't the real Baltimore team. It was,
no,
they were a shell. But hey, let's be real too. We had some guys out too. I mean, it hasn't been easy for anybody.
I mean,
there's only a few teams.
At this point, I mean, 2 was out of the game. Hello, SOS on 2. Where you been, bud? Where you been, buddy?
He needs to make a resurgence. He's just disappeared. I don't know where he's at. I think we get Spillane back. I think, Vince Williams comes back. Hopefully we get Hayden back this week. That's a big deal. Not having Hayden's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell.
But Nelson did play well. He did.
I mean, he did, but I like Cam Sutton too. It just gives you more flexibility. I think Cam Sutton's he just has a knack for the ball, dude.
He does.
He does. He reminds me of Hilton a lot. He's got a knack for the ball.
I mean,
yeah, you have that option to put him out there. Yeah, that's a big win for you. Especially you got Hayden on one side, you got Nelson, and then you got. But here's my thing: is like Butler's got to trust those guys to play man.
He does.
I just don't.
Does. It was they blitzed a lot this week, so he
did. They blitzed a ton, and they just couldn't get home.
Nope, they couldn't. So I mean, when you do that, that's the back thing if you can't get it done. So, but we do have the Bengals coming in this week, so that's good for us. We'll do that preview podcast later in the week for all of you that are listening. Tim, you got anything else you'd like to add to the podcast tonight before we sign off?
No. I mean, what else you want to say? I'm angry, dude.
You did a good job. I get it. There's nothing wrong with being angry.
I mean, if you want to give a player of the game for everything, it's me. I'm the player of the game. To have to sit through that crap, I was the player of the game.
But my player of the game was Mike Hilton. I think he's still just
it was me.
It was Tim. It was Tim. So here's my question: Would Melissa agree with that?
Melissa hates me, so no. She's gonna be like, she's gonna have to actually help me out of this suit because it's just I can feel it shrinking to my body. It's getting stiffer.
Oh dear Lord, that's just bad.
You'll never see this suit again. I can't do this. I would have to do the podcast outside.
Maybe we will. I don't know. Who knows? But that's it for the Yinzer Brothers for this week. Again, I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Don't forget, if you like what you hear, pass it along to your friends, your neighbors, pay them to listen to it. Whatever you got to do, do it.
I will say this. There's a couple good stories we got in the chess box that are yet to be unleashed. I've talked this about my brother. We have a classic story with me that would probably bring down the house. Only few people know about this.
That's true.
If we can somehow get I'd say 200, 250 views.
I think that would be great. I think it's great.
I would unleash that story.
So let's tease them a little bit about what it involves.
It involves me.
There's
in a dead sprint to the bathroom. That's all I'm going to leave it as.
Yes, that's right. Where he almost made it. Let's just say that.
In the dark of the night.
250 views is the gauntlet. Can I throw out something else too? Maybe, perhaps.
But here's the thing. I don't need you going in there and looking at this stinking podcast 250 times just for me to tell that story.
Well, how about this? Let's throw out another gauntlet thing too. What if we also make it to where if we get a shout out from another major podcast?
That's not fair.
Say one on gun.
That's not fair.
Or gun on one or McAfee. If one of those guys drops something there, I think it's worth the story.
I'm not doing gun because gun on one will do because he thinks I'm an absolute joke. So he will do it. If it's like Pat McAfee, I'll drop that if he says something. And that's that show. But if we get like 250, there's a story that is. It would be in Yinzer brother lore.
I think if McAfee drops them on his show, not only do you have to drop the story, but the cover of the Yinzer Bros of that week is you just standing there in your boxers, looking off into space. I think that's, if we're gonna do it, let's just do it, Tim.
Wow.
Now, what we'd have to do, we'd have to actually rate the podcast. Kids would not be allowed to be a part of that one.
I'm sweating so bad right now just thinking about that, because I'm tempted to say yes, but like knowing my luck, it actually won't. I can't do it to my wife. She would be like, "We'll think of something." In that line,
that Melissa, she's a lucky woman.
Maybe it'd be 50-50. I can't release the pool picture. That's not going to happen.
Oh, that would be great. That'd be great. Well, there is an infamous picture of Tim in the pool that I've not been allowed to see because I've heard that it is like the worst picture ever.
That picture is like it's like the picture of Bigfoot that nobody's ever going to see. It's just it's locked away in a chest
someday. I think Melissa
if that's released, there's two people in this world. There's three. Actually, the lady that took it at the pool, which if I ever find her, I'm taking that phone and I'm gonna chuck it. Me and my wife. If my wife releases it, it could be grounds for divorce. That's all I'm going to say.
I think it'd be worth the investment of getting that picture and putting it on a billboard next to your house.
Oh.
Well, this has been
if you want to terrorize every children, I couldn't do that.
Those poor children.
Oh boy.
Well, I think we need to wrap it up for this one. This has been a long one again. If you like the podcast, pass it along. Again, I'm TJ. This is Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. We'll see you later this week. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
We suck.
We do. Later. All right.